Hey everyone, just wanted to do an update on everything that's going on in my life right now. Well, as you can see, I'm out of the neck brace. I feel really good. I've got a lot of movement in my arms, my shoulders back, so it's basically back to the daily routine of how my life is going. Other than that, I can't really lift a lot of heavy weights. I can't do a lot of strenuous exercise for my upper body. I can do anything with my lower body that I could normally, so I mean, technically I could ride a bike, but I don't think the doctors would appreciate that, and I don't know if my arm can handle like the position on the bike, but I mean, and worse, I could fall, and then it would basically undo all of the surgery. Well, it could undo all of the surgery that I've already had. I don't know if you're listening right now, but there's a song playing on Pandora, and it is Panic at the Disco, 9 in the afternoon. It's a good song. I love Panic at the Disco. And you should too, because Panic at the Disco is pretty cool. But there was a few things I kind of wanted to talk about. I'm going to pause this song for a little bit. I want to talk about veganism like I normally do. For those of you who are concerned. And I sent a message to a girl on OkCupid earlier today, and I just kind of wanted to read that because I brought up some good points. Let me find it real quick. But I hope everyone's doing good. I hope everyone's fantastic. You're doing really good. Alright, so basically I wanted to say that being vegan is easy. It's really easy, and the hype about being vegan is what causes people to not want to go be vegan. The hype is what scares people. They hear vegan and they think, oh my god, it's so exclusive. You know, it's like, it's almost being compared to like a secret society that, you know, you have to like sign up and you have to go through all this process to join. But you can literally be vegan very easily in a matter of days, you know. The thing about being vegan is people who are vegan are very strict on themselves, and they're often strict on the vegan community because we don't want animals to suffer, and that's why we care about other vegans sticking to that, you know, that lifestyle, and that can be why a lot of people feel intimidated. But to be honest, most people who are vegan are not always associated with other vegans. I, for one, am associated with other vegans due to the fact that I have a blog, and then I can talk to other vegans, and I can meet other vegans. But other than that, I don't really know any other vegans in my daily life. I don't know anyone who's vegan. I know a few people. I've joined some animal rights groups when I was living in Orlando, and I met those people. But even then, it wasn't really like someone who is in my daily life. I would have to go out of my way to meet these people. And I don't want people to be scared. You know, I don't want people to be frightened that they are, you know, that veganism is exclusive. It's not exclusive. It's inclusive. It includes everyone and everything that exists. It is the kindest way to live, to put it simply. But all the resources are available, and the support may be difficult to come by. But the reality is, fuck those people who say that you can't do it. Because I know that a lot of the people who might have been against me being vegan in the beginning when I first started are now completely with me. You know, like, they're not vegan, but they support the fact that I am vegan. And that's what I want to address. You know, I want to address that you might not be able to get the support that you need at the beginning, but that's you. The support is yourself. The support isn't me or anyone else. You get the support from yourself. You read the resources. The resources are out there. You go online, search how to become vegan, search the ins and outs of veganism, you know, like what products you can't consume. You're going to learn. It's a learning process. Don't expect it to happen overnight. I didn't consider myself vegan until like months after really learning, you know, because I didn't want to come across people who were like, oh, you know, well, that's not vegan. And I'd be like, oh, well, I didn't know. But that's why when I went vegan, I didn't really address myself as vegan, or I didn't really claim vegan, because of the fact that I didn't want to offend those who were vegan, and I wanted to learn. It's a learning process. But don't let that pressure you to not want to make the transition. Don't let other people's thoughts affect your reasoning and affect your decision to go vegan, because it's a very good thing to do for many reasons, and I'm going to go over that in a minute. But I mean, I meet people in my daily life who are against veganism all the time, and being the person that I am not capable of arguing with everyone. There are some people that you can argue with, but then there's other people you can't argue with because they are at a different level than you. They may be more intelligent, or their justifications are different for you, and it's hard to really address everyone. It's hard to really pinpoint everyone into a certain category and assume that that's the way they think just because they're non-vegan. And that's where it can be difficult. If you're good at arguing with people, and you're good at addressing the point and then making people feel, or helping people understand, then that might be for you. But for me, it's hard to reiterate a lot of information. It's all up here. It's not really something that I can at any moment, you know, spew like all this talk about it. You know, I'm not always able to speak well about veganism, and I try my best. I always try my best to address the things that I'm concerned about the most. But like I said, with everyone, it's not always that simple. What's another thing? Another thing is, like I said, fuck those people. It's really ignorant when people only rarely limit their compassion to humans. You go about your daily life only focusing on a lot of things that have to do with yourself, not really about everyone else. And it's a shame how a lot of people who are non-vegan often don't even care about humans. And those are a lot of the times those are the people that are saying, well, what about human rights? What about human rights issues? You know, like, we haven't even gotten there yet. But I mean, the reality is, animal rights is human rights. You know, it's equal opportunities for all, and everyone deserves the right to live, if they're already living here on Earth, because we share this planet with everything and everyone, including plants. You know. And that's the whole point about veganism. You're reducing your ecological footprint and your ecological need while you're living here on Earth. You know, you want to make less of an impact while you're here. Well, I do. I don't know about you. A lot of people are shitty and they want to fuck the world. But I mean, you can't help everyone. It's a process, you know. Work in your community. Help your community. Don't look at it as you're going to save the world. Look at your community and go to your neighbors. Talk to your neighbors about it. Talk to your friends about it. Go to school. Talk to people in school about it. If you're uncertain, maybe get someone who is non-vegan and talk to them about it. See how they feel. Don't take everything that they say literally, and don't take everything they say, like, take it with a grain of salt. If they say something negative about veganism and they say well, I don't think that's a good idea. You might not be getting enough nutrition, but who's to say that they're healthy? Who's to say that they know anything about nutrition? And who's to say that veganism is the wrong thing to do? Because the truth is, we don't know the right thing to do. There is still disease. There is still sickness throughout the world. So, I mean, we're still learning. This is a learning process for all of us. So, like I said, take it with a grain of salt, but don't take the things they say for granted. Think about the things they say, and get back to them. If you feel like you've got an argument, or you feel like you have something positive to bring about in their daily lives, or in their thought process, help them. Help them see the good about going veganism, and not the negative, and not the selfish and the ego. All right. It's not difficult to be vegan. Being vegan is easy. I am serious. It's easy, and it's not hard at all. I don't crave any animal byproducts at all. Sometimes I have alternatives. Lately, I've been really craving tofu, some good cooked, seared tofu. Trying to avoid cooked foods as much as possible, but I love tofu. That's what I crave. I don't crave meat. I don't crave cheese. I don't crave milk. That's disgusting. And I just don't have any desire to eat any animal products. And that's what makes it easy for me. Because the desire isn't there. What's hard is making the transition to become vegan. That is hard. Because, I mean, like, we live in a non-vegan world. Everything around you is non-vegan, for the most part. You have to go out of your way to look for a lot of things that are vegan, but it's worth it. Don't let that affect your transition. It's definitely one of the best things that you feel like you'll ever do in your lifetime. It's one of the things that you'll look back on and you'll have no regrets about. And there's a lot, you'll meet people who are like, oh, I tried being vegetarian, I tried being vegan, and those people, I don't really care for a lot of people that say, oh, they tried and they just couldn't do it anymore. I felt like if your heart's not in it, and you're not in it 100% for the long run, then you're not in it at all for the right reasons. Basically, yeah, like for the right reasons. If you're not in it for the long run, you're not in it for the right reasons. You're in it for other reasons that I mean that's your own reason, but it's a good thing that at least at one point in your life you tried. But for those people, like I said, they're not in it for the right reasons at all. But like I said, it's one of the best decisions you can ever make in your lifetime. You look back on it and be like, wow, I wish I would have done this earlier. I wish I could feel this good all the time. I rarely ever get sick. I'm very sensitive to the food I eat, so if I eat a lot of food with oil, high in oil, my throat will get irritated. Sometimes when I eat hummus, there's a lot of oil in it, my throat gets irritated, but that is something that you can manage by eating less foods with oil. And you might not feel that now, but as your diet changes and your lifestyle changes, you feel differences in your body. I don't get stomach pains like I used to. It's easier for me to go to the bathroom. I can go to the bathroom 2 to 3 times a day, depending on how much I eat. And you don't have to restrict calories. You don't have to restrict your calories at all. It's very simple. This video is getting really long. Should probably stop, but I don't know. I don't even think YouTube will let me upload a video this long. Oh yeah, another thing. Being vegan doesn't necessarily mean that one loves animals. Being vegan means that you respect one's right to live, and you reserve their right. You don't have to be in it for the animals. Most people are, and that's a great thing, because we should care for the animals that we share our planet with, because they do have the capacity to suffer, like us as humans. Being vegan has many benefits throughout the world. It reduces the use of resources like oil, water, and land. We consume a lot of those resources on a daily basis. In order for livestock to have a place to stay, it's going to require more and more land. And that means we're going to have to use more land to grow the food to feed them, and that's more food that's going to the animals. And as the population grows, it's just a big scheme that grows larger. It requires lots of oil to power these concentrated animal feeding operations, to transport the food, because when they're transporting the animals, a lot of times they transport the animals in trucks, you know, and that weight can cause those trucks to use more oil to power the vehicle. So there's many industrial components that require a lot of oil, which is not good, because that contributes to global warming and climate change. And water is very important. You have to give, if we're raising all these cattle, we have to feed them, and we have to give them water, and they consume a lot of water, more water than we do. So if we're breeding more and more cows, that's less and less water we have for ourselves, and eventually companies will begin to start privatizing water, which is very dangerous. You know, that's not cool at all. To privatize water, you know, that is one of our biological functions, and well, not one of our biological functions, but we're 80% water. We need water to survive. Most of us need water to survive. And for companies to start privatizing that means other people won't have access to water. A lot of people are going to die without the water that they need. The vegan lifestyle is a kind diet. It's kind to the world around us, and it creates a lesser impact. I said that earlier. Meat consumption is the greatest reason for why climate change exists, because of all the massive amounts of CO2 emissions being created from concentrated animal feeding operations. So if you think about it, these cows burp, and they fart, and they shit, and they release waste, and that waste is all the CO2, and that goes into our air, and that gets into our water system. So that creates a lot of pollution into the environment, and that's what a lot of people don't really think about in their daily lives. They don't think about, oh, look at all these cows, you know. They're the ones responsible for all the CO2 emissions and the climate change. Everyone always thinks it's the cars, you know, it's the vehicles, it's us. And it's good that we're trying to focus on vehicles, but we're ignoring the true reason why climate change exists. We're literally ignoring it, and we are to blame. We're breeding all these animals. By buying these products, you're creating demand for it. Therefore, I mean, we're the reason. We're the reason why we have all this global warming, climate change. Starting to sound like an idiot, but that's cool. That's cool. You can also contribute to feeding a greater population because a lot of the grain that is grown throughout the world is being fed to livestock, which consume far more than humans. Cut out the fucking middleman. Eat the food that the cows eat. Cows are fucking huge. They eat a lot of grain. They have, and then we eat them. You know, cut out the fucking middleman. Don't eat the cow. Eat what they were supposed to be eating. They eat grass. I know. But the point is, eat vegetables. Eat fruit. Eat grain. Eat that. You know, you're gonna be healthier. And the whole fucking protein ordeal that that's going on right now is everyone thinks that you need a shit ton of protein, and you don't. You really don't need that much protein. We are made up of protein, just like all plant and all life. All life is made up of protein. It's basically a building block of life, protein. So, I mean, anyways, if someone asks you, oh, where do you get your protein? There's plenty of things to say. I drink soy milk. I eat beans. I like peanut butter. I eat nuts. I mean, I still to this day don't know how to answer that question correctly. I'm like, what? Protein? Oh my god. Like, I get worried when someone asks me that question, because I don't always have the answer, but I don't really worry about it. I don't really worry about whether I'm getting enough protein or not. I just eat my food, you know, eat the food that I normally like to eat, and, you know, I stick to that. I don't really calculate all the nutritional shit that I put in my body. I just kind of eat, you know, what I feel comfortable eating. I have a smoothie in the morning. I mean, my diet varies. I eat different things all day long. Sometimes I'll have a salad for lunch. Sometimes I'll make a sandwich. Sometimes I'll have another smoothie. I'll drink 2 smoothies. You know, but when I make smoothies, I don't just put one vegetable or one fruit in it. I try to mix it up, you know, get a lot of different nutrition intake. And then for dinner, I'll have a cooked meal. And that always changes. I don't always eat the same thing because I luckily have a Whole Foods right down the street, and I can basically get whatever it is that I need and whatever it is that I desire that is vegan. What else? Being vegan also allows one to lead a healthier lifestyle as well. Meat and animal byproduct consumption is a great risk to cardiovascular health. It also creates a risk for cancer and other ailments later down the road. And these are all true things. We know that consuming meat is high in cholesterol and essentially not good for your heart. We know that milk is bad for your bones. And it's a lie. Milk is a lie. Don't believe those got milk ads. That's bullshit. The benefits of being vegan truly outweigh the risk of eating dairy, meat, and eggs. And this is truly what most people will not share with you. A lot of people don't know the truth, and they won't share it with you because they don't know. And a lot of people don't even sharing this isn't really indicating that I know the truth more than anyone else. But what I do know is that it's a healthier lifestyle to live, and that's proven. If you don't believe me, read the China study. There's plenty of books out there. Read The Starch Solution by John McDougall. There's plenty of books available. There's plenty of resources. trying to think of some other books that you can read. Watch some videos online. There's lots of videos online, documentaries, Forks Over Knives, Earthlings. What else? I just watched this movie called Plan Eat. That was pretty good. Not really the greatest movie I've ever seen. There's also Vegucated for those who are new to veganism and want to make the transition. Kind of it gives you a guide on how to do so, and it basically that movie follows 3 people who decide to make that transition, and how for I think it's like 30 days they go vegan, and then I think 2 people stick to the vegan diet, and then the other guy tries, and he's not capable of continuing because maybe he wasn't in it for the right reasons, and he wasn't afterwards surrounded by people who were also vegan or didn't go out of his way to really look for the resources and stick to the kind diet. The benefits of being vegan truly outweigh the risk of eating dairy, meat, and eggs. Yeah, I said that already. But yeah, that's basically some of the points that I wanted to go over. If you guys have any comments, subscribe, put your comments below, let me know what you want to see. I am not really that popular, but I'm going to try to keep posting more videos and updating what's going on with my life, and if I have any other things that I do want to discuss or talk about, I will, and I'll bring that up with you guys. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you all have a great day. See you later.